What's up, Browns fans? Time now for another training camp position preview. And today we're going to take a look at the linebackers, the nerve center, the brains of the defense under Coach Jason Tarver. They have been excellent for the Cleveland Browns of late, and I think in 2024 they have a chance to be even better. Some changes in that room. Obviously gone are fan favorites and favorites of mine, Anthony Walker Jr. and Sione Takitaki. But you know what? This team, what do? They reload. You bring in Jordan Hicks. You go to the linebacking position in the draft, and of course, you've got the megastar JOK. But let's start with Jordan Hicks. Hicks is entering his 10th season in the National Football League. He's a guy who's been a captain. He is one of the better Mike linebackers in the NFL. 5 straight seasons of more than 100 tackles. Played for Jim Schwartz in Philadelphia back in 2017 when they won the Super Bowl. So he knows this defense, and he has been highly productive year in and year out. It's not just the tackle numbers. Jordan Hicks is phenomenal in coverage. So Hicks, he's going to be next to JOK, and JOK has become one of the best off-ball linebackers in the entire National Football League. Made his first Pro Bowl last year. Only linebacker in the league, 100 tackles and more than 20 tackles for loss. In fact, he was third in the NFL in tackles for loss. The other 2 were edge rushers. He's off the ball and making those kinds of plays. I think his star is only ascending in this one. And so you think about Hicks and JOK together, the Browns have the best 1-2 punch at linebacker that they have had in quite some time. Now, there is some question. Who's going to be the starting Sam linebacker? And now the Browns will only be in base defense probably a handful of snaps a game, but candidates are Tony Fields, who has gotten better every single year, the former 5th rounder out of West Virginia, and then Devin Bush, who the Browns have brought into Cleveland this offseason, the former 1st-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bush was very productive before suffering an ACL injury, spent last year in Seattle, now here back in the AFC North, and he's had a very good camp. He is fast on the field. So those are probably your top 4 linebackers. Then you're going to have some competition to round out this room, and we know with the new kickoff rule, linebackers always very important on special teams. So here are some names you need to know. It will start with Mahmoud Diabate, last year's undrafted free agent who made the roster. He has taken a nice step forward, had a great offseason so far. Big, strong, can play at the point of attack, a good athlete as well. Diabate, a guy who looks like he has what it takes to make this roster. Rounding out the room, you also have this year's 6th-round pick, Nathaniel Watson, who is a loads. 235 pounds out of Mississippi State, where he was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year a year ago. Let me say that again. This linebacker was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. The Browns got him late. I love his size. He brings that ability to be a thumper, probably going to be big on special teams for Bubba Ventrone as well. Other guys competing to try to make this roster or stay in the program. You got Charlie Thomas, who spent most of last year on the Browns practice squad. Also coming into that linebacker room, you've got Winston Reed, an undrafted free agent out of Weber State, as well as Caleb Johnson in his first year out of the U down in Florida. So you've got a veteran coach, you've got a veteran Mike linebacker, you got an ascending star at the will linebacker position, you've got a mix of good veterans coming in behind that, and then some high upside 1st and 2nd year players. So this is an exciting room. Remember, the Browns likely going to have 2 linebackers on the field the majority of the time, and in fact, and sometimes they'll only have 1 when they get into their 3 safety dime packages. But I like the upside of this room, and with Hicks, I think he's going to bring stability, a leadership, and a productivity that we haven't seen in that every down Mike linebacker role due to injuries and circumstances over the last few seasons for the Cleveland Browns. As always, keep it tuned to ClevelandBrowns.com and the Browns mobile app for the latest on your Cleveland Browns. This has been our position preview with a look at the linebackers.